morning, and we're back at 8:31. Let's go ahead and get into the daily question from the KUAM News team, Tomas Manglona. Good morning, Tomas.
Good morning, Link family. Thanks for joining us. Yesterday's daily question, we got dozens of responses. The daily question that we posed was, what conversations have you had with family and friends about getting vaccinated?
All right, and we're going to go ahead and play the clip from the daily question, right?
Well, we're just going to share some of the responses real quick that we, some of the top comments that we had here on our Facebook page. Chamarita Rages, one of our top fans, she writes a very thoughtful response. She says, "We're not doctors in any of the areas of medicine or disease, but will abide and be mindful with all the help we can get to stop this virus from continuing to take over our freedom, families, and our way of life." She continues to add, "As we took all the guidance that was given to us by medical professionals, the governor, president, and World Health Organization, we are not in this alone, but we can be the solution to the problem at hand and follow every guidance given to us to fight and beat the costs. We will survive this, but we cannot do this alone. Delta variant is feeding itself to become deadlier by us not being able to apply to every guidance given." That's a conversation she said she's having with her family. Some other comments that we got on Facebook. Peter Corey Camacho writes, "We just remind each other to be safe and careful when out in public. We're all vaccinated, but still take all necessary precautions. We miss our friends and family, but this is how we demonstrate our love to them. Thank God for social media outlets. Kudos and prayers to all of our first responders. We cherish you." Another comment that we got online from Ella says, "Just reminding my kids that even if they're vaccinated, it's still not safe out there, and they're not 100% COVID bulletproof." That's what she writes. And one of the other top comments we got on Facebook says, from Victorina, "We talk about it. If you're not vaccinated, please do so safe our island, the people, and the children. Let's all be safe. Please get vaccinated." And she writes, "No more dying." And just wanted to share some of the shorter responses that we got from our Facebook, from our Instagram stories. One person writing that they talk with their family and say that talking about whether or not it's about religious or political views more important than others. One mother here writing in response to our Instagram story saying, "My son reminds me that when he turns 12 in October, he was going to get the shot." And Chris, I think one of the responses that we got to wrap up our daily question was, "It's none of your business." But we appreciate you for engaging
Right on.
and telling us some of the conversations you had. And we'll be sharing today's daily question around 10 a.m. on Instagram and Facebook, and sharing it also on Primetime in case you miss it.
Why, you didn't get any crazy, like, we don't want to turn into Magneto type of responses?
Always a range of responses. Yeah, people voicing their view on our social media pages. Other people, still saying that they're having these, conversations. It's still ongoing. More people need to get vaccinated.
And I'm pretty sure the conversations are going to increase because we're now looking at the booster shot. And that's a whole other conversation. I'm talking to a lot of people who are fully vaccinated, and now they're really considering whether or not they want to get the booster.
Right. Lots of people, just as always, wondering about schools, wondering about the booster shots, wondering, as Chima said, what would people like to see? And, hopefully we'll get some answers to that in terms of what people would like to see.
I like it when they flip the question back on it. Yeah, so if you guys weren't listening earlier, we had Chima on, and I was like, what type of restrictions do you think would work from a scientific standpoint? And he was like, well, what type of restrictions do you think would work? Anyway.
We'll find out.
Yeah. Tomas, we're doing a stream, right, this morning?
Yes, around 10:30, KUAM Digital will be sharing a live stream to the Judiciary and Government Operations Committee meeting in the CNMI on the island of Saipan. The Lieutenant Governor Arnold Palacios will be testifying on some of the investigations happening into the spending and use of funds by the current governor, Ralph Torres. If you're reading the news, if you're in the CNMI, you know that the lieutenant governor is also rumored to possibly run to replace Governor Torres in the next election. And so everyone looking to this 10:30 hearing to see what the lieutenant governor has to say about all these matters that we reported on I guess it's almost a year and a half ago,
Yeah,
right? When
yeah.
when
So
when
refresh
I
our
was on
memory.
Saipan.
It's about spending, right? And there's some questionable spending.
Yeah, just across the board in terms of also trips, airline trips, uh, some also items that were purchased.
Using government funds.
Yes, and so the hearings.
Wasn't there something about like they had accused him of taking the harbor patrol boat out fishing?
Yeah, the DPS safety boat. Lots of questions about that, and all of the hearings are in the CNMI legislature live stream, which is fairly new. They haven't. Usually, you would only be able to watch the live streams on TV, but now they're all on YouTube if you look at CNMI
All right.
legislature.
And so we're going to be carrying that.
We'll be sharing it, yes, on KUM, on all of our platforms. Again, that's 10:30 today. Lieutenant Governor Arnold Palacios will be testifying to the GGO committee.
Yeah, and this is just part of our expanding a coverage. We brought Tomas on board, not just to focus on what's going on here on Guam, but to really kind of pull away and provide regional perspective.
Yeah, and I'll be on Saipan in October. There's also a special election coming up. Lots of news, no matter where you're at, with the pandemic, with government, with schools, with business. Right. No shortage of conversations to have, and that's why we also ask, the daily question is to get people's, view on things that are happening every single day.
Yeah, hopefully we can do a tandem investigative trip to Rota in October.
If you're there, I'm there.
Yeah, because I really want to look more into and investigate their fiesta if they have one.
They just wrapped up. I was just looking at footage of they had their coconut festival just recently.
Oh, nice.
And so I got footage from that, and I was looking through it, and we'll be sharing that, and of course a new regional show will be launching in about 2 weeks.
Too much.
Pacific Matters.
Yeah, don't spoil it. Don't spoil it.
So sharing all the views from across the region, and just expanding the stories we tell. So
thank you, Tomas. So right on. So look out for the daily question around 10 or so on our social media platforms.
Yes.
Thank you. All right, let's go into the KUAM News Zoom room.